What's up, guys? It's your boy Lou here, back with another video, and we're showing you a different area of OddsJam. Look at that. It has tons of stuff you can do. DFS. You think sports betting is not legal in my state? Think again. A lot of states like PrizePicks is legal in California, Texas, Florida. Here where I'm in Illinois is pretty big, so we're going to look at something called PrizePicks, which is just a phenomenal way to look at player props and kind of a different way of betting on sports, and it's DFS. So you're playing against the projections. You've probably played DFS in the past where you're playing against 1,000 people and you can never win that $1 million because you're playing against other people. But this is just against the projections. You versus the books. How do we beat the books? It's pretty easy the way it's set up. It's very clean looking. It's just all the player props that you can think of in it. They have different things that you can't even find on other sports books like cricket, like blocks plus steals, free throws made. They offer a lot of pretty cool markets, but we still want to synergize them with what we find on OddsJam, and then you pretty much just select more or less. That's the cool thing about PrizePicks. There's no juice, there's no vig, none of that apple juice that we hate. All right, you pretty much just pick the players that you go. So let's find one that we can look at. So first thing I always do, like normal, go to the positive EV screen. This is still here. We're going to filter out by PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks isn't going to have a lot of positive EV plays all the time just because their lines are a little bit different. On here, it's only going to show you when lines are the same. You're always going to want to do 5 and 6 pick flexes. It's statistically the highest ROI. There's a lot of math behind it. Just a few simple equations, but trust me, 5 and 6 flexes are the way to go. No positive EV bets at this time. Shocker. You'll rarely find some. Even if you do, there'll be small percentages. That's always going to trump anything that you find over here, which is the OddsJam screen. Look at this data. We got Wall Street here going back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. What this shows us is a certain market, whatever you want to look at. So we're going to look at player props, since PrizePicks is only player props. And I've had a lot of success recently on player rebounds just because it's a pretty sharp statistic, and some of the variance is pretty low. 4 rebounds compared to 5 is a lot different than 29 points compared to 30 points. So that's what I'm looking at, and boom, we got one right away. Here's what I look at when I'm on OddsJam, looking to see what player props I need to include. Minus 119 is going to be the juice. I know I said it's no juice, but you could back out, reverse engineer the juice to find out what the PrizePicks juice would be. It's minus 119 on 5 and 6 pick flexes. That's all you need to know. So Alex Caruso is the first guy I want to look at here. PrizePicks has his line set at 3. Every other book, FanDuel, DraftKings, OddsJam, BetMGM, they all have it at 2.5. Right? 2.5 every sports book. We're getting it at 3. We're going to want to take the under. Okay? Don't think of them as half points, because, if it's 3, it pushes, which is good. But we're still going to need 2 to win, right? Why wouldn't we just take it it's the same as 2.5? It's not. Okay? Think of 2.5 as an independent number from 3. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 3. Okay? 3, 2.5, we're going to want to be, if we can get a whole half rebound higher, we're taking that. But it's not as cut and dry. Nothing ever is. You got to look a little bit. This is where it can get a little bit gray at some of the juice. A lot of juice is toward the over here. I would like for this to be more around minus 130s, minus 140s. Even juice toward the under would be an automatic smash. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, this game's tomorrow, so lines might change a little bit. Juice might change. But for the meantime, we'll enter it in here. So just how we go about this. Rebounds. Mr. Caruso, Chicago guy. Got to bet on him. We're going to take the under there. And then we're just scavenging again. 8.5, 9.5. I like this one. So 9.5. Pinnacle has it at 9.5. Barely juiced towards the under. DraftKings, barely juiced towards the under. FanDuel's pretty much even money at 9.5. PrizePicks, you can get it at 9. That means if Bam Adebayo has 9 rebounds, we're going to push. Every other sportsbook we would lose. Theoretically, you would probably want to take this on Barstool with the over too, because this is a big difference here, 8.5, 9.5. But we're not looking at Barstool right now. We're looking at PrizePicks. But this is just a whole holistic way of looking at all different lines, looking at odds when they're different. Positive EV betting is going to be when all these lines are 9.5. A spread of minus 5.5 for the Heat or something. This is where it's like a little bit different. So it's not going to show up on the EV screen. It'll show up here. This is a very important screen you got to take advantage of. So here we go. Here's our second one with Bam. Scroll down. Lines change quickly. We're going to go with the over. Again, we want 5 and 6 pick flexes. So we got to find 2 more. Kobe White. 3. Not too many markets, but every other market has it at 2.5. That's our first check. And then the over 2.5 is not very heavily juiced like it is with Caruso. See, minus 189. That means they're very likely it goes over 2.5. Under or over 2.5 down here, minus 138. A lot less likely. So Kobe White, we're going to go under. And again, that's all this is. This is being a sharp, guys. Oh, don't want that. This is being a sharp. This is scavenging the lines. Kobe White. It's the thing about PrizePicks. They have a lot of round numbers here that a lot of other sportsbooks don't offer because they don't want people pushing. They want an over and under. DeMar DeRozan. 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. A couple books have this at 5.5. Again, love DeMar's under 5. So we're just going right down the line here. Every other book has it at 4.5. FanDuel has it at 4.5. Barely juiced towards the over. Barely. Means they think it's pretty likely, almost 50-50, that it will be 4.5. Over, under. We get a whole half point higher. For us to lose, he would have to get 6 rebounds. Not happening. At least not in the long run. So DeMar, his daughter's going to be there cheering. I don't know if you all saw that video. It's hilarious. But she'll be there. So under 5 rebounds for DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, again, if this was you want to take the higher number, and you always want to take the under. If you have the lower number like Bam, you want to regress up to the mean, which was 9.5 here. Take the over. And finally, Jimmy Buckets. Another good one. 6.5 on Pinnacle, 6.5 on FanDuel, 6.5 on DraftKings, 6.5 on Bars, or actually 7.5 on Barstool, but juice minus 190. 6.5. It's barely juiced toward the over. It's a 50-50 here, the average odds. Minus 124, minus 114. That's at 6.5. We're getting this at 7. We are going to make so much money. There he is, Jimmy Buckets. More buckets, less rebounds. So we got 4 entries here. Typically, you have to do entries on someone on another team, so I can't do all Chicago Bulls here. Otherwise, I would reevaluate this. You know what? I'm going to look at Vucevic, 10.5. This is a perfect example. Everything here is 10.5. Barstool's really lagging here, which is a sign the line's probably going to move. So you want to take this over big time. That's incredible value. Vucevic, 10.5, 10.5, 10.5. PrizePicks, 10.5. There's no value here. Next, moving on. Patrick Williams. I don't want to take his under here. You know why? Because like minus 185, minus 189. There's a lot of juice towards the over at 3. Okay? At 2.5. Sorry. So you're not going to want to take his under. Tyler Hero. Well, I need someone from another game. You know what? Doesn't even have to be rebounds. That's the thing. It could be. That's the beauty about PrizePicks. You can mix and match whatever sport you want. Where am I going here? Honestly, it's whatever you feel is a good market at that time. Obviously, I'm not looking at point spread or anything because we're going on PrizePicks. That is only player props. Let's see here. You have to be alert and you have to do this quickly. This could be a good one. James Harden. Prizepicks has it at 10 assists. 10. All these other sportsbooks. Barstool has it at 8.5. BetRivers 8.5. This is 9.5. 9.5. DraftKings is pretty much even at 9.5. This is an instant smash. James Harden under 10 assists. No other book is giving you higher than 9.5. Some books are giving you 8.5. Holy crap. Harden. 10 assists. We're going to go under there. And that's that. Right? And you don't even have to put a lot of money on this. I'm just going to put $5 on this to win 125. PrizePicks gives you different flexible payouts. 6 for 6 is plus 25 times your money, 2 times your money. Then they still even give you a little bit of insurance if you have 4. But that's pretty much all taken from the screen, the OddsJam screen. So let's place this. Boom, we're in. Here we go. $5. Holy crap. But that's all pretty much you can do if you want to be a day trader of sports. There's different things you could look at, different DFS platforms, different positive EV platforms. I talked about arbitrage. I talked about yada, yada, yada. Gotta look at the screen. Gotta look at OddsJam, man. It is the best investment you will ever make if you're serious about sports betting. Till then, guys, talk to you later. Best of luck. Stay hard. I'm out.